Hey guys, it's me, EODGamer here. We all know how good Harmony characters are, but how about the Harmony Lightcone for Tribbie? Is it worth your pulls? How flexible is this? How versatile is it? Does it scale with time? And can you actually get good value out of this? So we're going to be talking all about that in this video, but let's first things first, start off straight to the point. What do I think about Tribbie's signature Lightcone for Tribbie? The first thing that I noticed about this signature Lightcone, if time were a flower, is the massive amounts of HP stat. Now this is competitive even to Abundance Lightcones, which is really crazy, a huge amount of Chonga stats. This could even be great if you just want to slap it on as a stat stick for some of your 4-star squishier Harmony characters. It could be an option in future if one day people do scale, 4 stars do scale off with crit damage, perhaps in the future. But more importantly, why this is super solid, and of course, most signatures are very solid for the characters that they are meant for, but even more so for Tribbie is because it gives her very nice amounts of crit damage. She's a damaging Harmony character that is very chongus, a lot of HP. At the same time, she also can do follow-up attacks, regenerating 12 energy for herself, gains this presage buff on herself, lasts for 2 turns. When you have this presage buff on herself, you grant all of your ally targets 48% crit damage. That is really incredible. So not only does she become like a cannon machine gun doing damage with this stat as well, she also buffs her entire team to do a lot of crit damage. So great for any crit teams outside of, like, if you're not running break teams, you're not running other teams like maybe DOT. This is a really solid Lightcone, really excellent for a sub DPS Tribbie, yet also contributing a lot for a Harmony role. This is really quite incredible. The last effect here, of course, allows you to just start off, so you basically almost always have the 48% crit damage buff for your entire team, which I think is a fantastic idea. But at this point, of course, it's more important to talk about how useful this Lightcone is for other characters as well. And also, are there any options? Because we all know the Harmony Lightcones are aplenty in Honkai Star Rail, and this is probably one of the most easiest categories to consider skipping signature Lightcones in, because there's so many good 4 stars. And let me give you some alternatives if you just don't simply have the resources. There are 2 ways to view Tribbie. One is you want to view her as a generalistic support for your entire team. You don't care what team she is, you want to do the traditional action advancing, which is not Tribbie's strength, because Tribbie doesn't have much action advancing in the kit. But with a Lightcone, for example, like Dance, you lose quite a lot of HP, which is her damaging factor, but you still gain some kind of flexibility for her to push up the team as well if you needed to, which is the power of Harmony characters. They are so flexible. Just with a simple Lightcone change, you can change their playstyle up a lot. So if you need her to be a swap in Robin for some reason, you need her to maybe be a substitute for Robin, you don't have Robin, Dance pushes her closer to that playstyle. At the same time, there's quite a lot of options for Tribbie. If you are looking to play her in a mono quantum team, as we talked about in the team section as well, you can play her in double quantum, even with, like, for example, Sparkle together with this Planetary Rendezvous Tribbie. In this case, you buff all quantum damage, so you help your entire team do more damage. This is another angle of doing things. At the same time, for a 4-star Lightcone, you get 1000 plus HP, which is really nice. Good amounts of stats for a 4-star Lightcone. So you get a bit of damage increase buffing for your team, similar to the signature. At the same time, you also get some sort of HP, so it's quite a good, cheaper alternative as well. Some of you might be wondering, how about the 5-star standard? Because this, if you've been playing long enough, maybe you lost a 50-50, hopefully not, and got one of these, but the battle isn't over and stuff. It's quite solid as well. You have 1164 base HP. This is very high. We again talk a lot about base HP because she's a character that cares a lot about max HP, how much HP the particular character has. So this base stat matters a lot. It gives you energy regeneration rate, some extra skill points, which is nice. I think this is an overall strong Lightcone. Probably if you were wanting to build just a generic Tribbie, you don't have her signature, you don't have much alternatives, you don't really care about mono quantum teams or action advancing, maybe you're playing in slow teams with counter-based heroes like Yun Li, as we talked about, or maybe other characters as well, then this is probably going to be one of the better options because of the high base HP and good amounts of stats that generally she can use too. Other options, there are plenty of options. If you want to go down the damaging route, if you have this signature Lightcone, Earthly Escapade Sparkle signature is okay as well. You get the high HP, you get good amounts of 32% crit damage, which is found in her stat, but you don't get the rest of them, of course, that her signature offers. But this is a decent alternative for some reason if you have this lying around. I won't touch on it too much because not many people probably will have this lying around as a spare. The last section of things, of course, is the energy regeneration light cones, and there are so many light cones available. As you can see, there's quite a lot of options already. The energy regeneration light cones, like Memory of the Past, over here, gives you a bit lower HP than the other options as we talked about, but it does give you decent amounts of energy. Wearer attacks, that is pretty much Tribbie's objective, and you get a bit of energy refund, which is really nice. The break effects is more of a side thing, but you get a lot of energy back if you wanted to help her burst more often. This is quite solid as well. So Memory of the Past caters a bit more towards a DPS kind of thing, more individualistic Tribbie, and helping her function a bit more in terms of rotations, do more damage on the side. Mashing Cogs is the other one, but to be really honest, I don't really like this too much. You lose out a lot of HP compared to a lot of your other options, and max HP is very important in the base light cone, so you can scale that up really nicely as well. With 846 HP on the flip side, you get back a lot of energy when you get hit, you attack enemies. This is also quite decent, but you need to know the trade-off. Depending on what kind of team comms you are using, Harmony characters really have tons and tons of options available. So just sharing a few options for any of you who are thinking of. I'll share with you my personal thoughts in a little bit as well, whether I am going to be pulling or not. But at this point, more importantly, in order to make that decision, we need to see how flexible this light cone is on other characters in the game. Can it be used on anyone else? The problem with this, although we did mention in the opening note that the high HP makes it very, very versatile, even for squishier Harmony characters to become a bit more chunky, as we saw, it's the best in class in terms of HP stat. The problem with this lies in the requirements for the passive ability. Crit damage over here might seem attractive to like some Harmony characters, like maybe you have Sunday, you have Bronya, you have Sparkle, might use this. The problem comes with the second part, which is really the part that is really strong about this signature light cone. When you launch a follow-up attack, Wearer launches follow-up attack, you regenerate energy and gain the crit damage buff that buffs your whole team. Very few Harmony characters can proc this follow-up ability, and that is why I would say this light cone is limited to only a few characters that can use it. Now let's go back in the game engine and I'll tell you the few. Of course, it's already a couple that we already know, as mentioned in a bit already. We have the Harmony characters, for example. Let me just go in the filter here real quick. And if you're finding value in this video so far, do give me a like, comment, and subscribe. We do this every single patch to help us plan our resources as well, because I think it's very important, especially if you're deciding what to pull. So the light cone can be used because of the crit damage that it gives, a little bit of crit damage. Can be used on Sunday, can be used on Bronya, can also be used on Sparkle if you have these characters. But out of all of them, the best one that can really utilize it the most is Bronya, but not just Bronya. You need specifically an E4 Bronya. Like this one is so important because this is the follow-up attack proccing that you can get. With this, Bronya is a massive buffer for the entire team. You can buff your entire team 48% crit damage if you have this ability and you're attacking like a wind weakness enemy or something. So it's really, really strong with Bronya. I think it might even potentially be better than her signature at that point, especially if you have some way to funnel the skill points with the team. Maybe you run with Sparkle or something. Other than that, probably only Tribbie. And of course, if you found value in this video so far, do leave a like, comment, subscribe, and check out the other videos we have on our channel as well if you're interested in pulling for Tribbie, making a decision between characters, and see you guys in the next video.